If Jake Paul lands that lucky punch, knocks Conor McGregor out, and now the whole UFC looks like a clown.
It's the weight of them checks. And my checks are always super heavyweight, so I don't give a shit.
Is this the biggest money fight for you so far? Like, you'll make more in this fight probably than all the other ones?
Potentially.
Dana, 60 G's, baby!
Chad's got him on his back, and Conor gets back up. He tagged him. Right.
Conor McGregor's earnings from 2015 to 2016. All right, folks, let's dive into the juicy details of UFC payout leaks and Conor McGregor's earnings from 2015 to 2016. This stuff is like the Fight Games version of a Hollywood scandal, and it's got everyone talking. So first things first, Conor McGregor was undoubtedly a superstar in the UFC during those years. His earnings were like something out of a dream, or maybe a nightmare for his opponents. We're talking big bucks here, my friends. In 2015, when McGregor faced off against Chad Mendes, he raked in a cool $2,642,204. But here's the kicker, that's not all. He also got a discretionary bonus of $2.11 million. Yeah, discretionary bonuses aren't the norm, but McGregor ain't your typical fighter. Then, in the same year, when he knocked out Jose Aldo in just 13 seconds, McGregor's payday was $4,476,662. Aldo, who was on the receiving end of that infamous knockout, pocketed a still impressive $2,377,699. In 2016, McGregor had those epic battles against Nate Diaz. The first fight saw McGregor bag a whopping $5,576,315, while Nate Diaz took home $2,838,158. But that's not all. The pay-per-view event itself brought in a staggering $61 million. Yeah, you heard it right. $61 million.
I have an unhealthy obsession with spending money.
Chad's got him on his back, and Conor gets back up. He tagged him. Right. UFC featherweight champion of the world! My God!
Spin and a miss. They clinch.
There's the clinch.
Dana, 60 G's, baby!
Their rematch in the same year wasn't too shabby either. McGregor cashed in $5,615,490, while Diaz got a sweet $4,315,490. Those guys were literally fighting for millions. And if that wasn't enough, McGregor faced Eddie Alvarez, and that fight generated a jaw-dropping $66 million in pay-per-view revenue. McGregor, the superstar he is, walked away with $6,812,374.
Forget about all that, push it all to the side and focus on improvement. And that will ultimately bring the money.
Diaz, the southpaw in the black trunks.
And as I suspected, right away he's opening up with the leg kicks.
No one has ever held two belts in the UFC.
Now, let's talk about discretionary bonuses and pay-per-view earnings. Not every fighter gets those kinds of perks, but McGregor did. It's like winning the lottery while winning fights. These extra goodies just put his earnings through the roof. So there you have it. McGregor was living the high life during 2015 to 2016. His earnings were out of this world, and he rightfully earned his status as one of the highest paid fighters in the UFC. It's no wonder everyone's talking about it. It's a payday fit for a king in the octagon. Jake Paul mocks Conor McGregor's UFC earnings. Alright folks, it's time to talk about the clash of the titans in the world of combat sports, Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor's earnings. This is like a verbal jab that's got everyone's attention. First off, Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned boxer, couldn't resist chiming in on Conor McGregor's leaked UFC earnings. He did it in true social media style with a tweet. But hold your horses, because that tweet is now in the digital graveyard as Jake decided to delete it. So what did Jake actually say? Well, he called McGregor's earnings effing hilarious and sad at the same time. Ouch, that's a low blow, but let's break it down. Why would Jake delete a tweet that's milder than some of his other online rants? It's like a mystery in the making. Maybe he realized that it's not cool to publicly shame someone for their earnings, especially in a sport where many fighters struggle to make ends meet. That could be a reason. But what's really interesting is the bigger picture. Jake's comment on McGregor's earnings opens up a can of worms about fighter pay in combat sports.
Hey, Jake Paul lands that lucky punch, knocks Conor McGregor out, and now the whole UFC looks like a clown.
I would say I definitely got some kick.
It's the weight of them checks. And my checks are always super heavyweight, so I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna say, damn, I really thought no one was gonna do what I did in this sport. I really thought no one was gonna be as big of a name.
This is about revenge for Jake Paul.
I like how he went back to the jab even after he had him hurt.
McGregor and Green Nurmagomedov in play. McGregor lands early.
Pressure right off the bat by Conor.
Going to earn an extraordinary amount of
One more time.
an extraordinary amount of money.
If McGregor, one of the biggest stars in the UFC, is making what some perceive as low money, what does that say about the rest of the fighters in the game? It's like shining a spotlight on the disparity in the world of professional fighting. It's no secret that many fighters, especially lower tier ones, struggle to make a living from their craft. They might have to take on second jobs just to get by. So Jake's comment, whether he intended it or not, has ignited a debate about fighter pay in the UFC and other combat sports organizations. It's like a subplot in the ongoing saga of Jake Paul versus everyone. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see these two actually square off in the ring or the octagon. But for now, it's classic online drama, and the fight game's drama never seems to have an off-season. UFC antitrust case. Alright folks, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the UFC antitrust case and the shockers that have been revealed. It's like a courtroom drama meets a cage fight, and it's got everyone talking. So, first things first, the UFC antitrust case is a legal showdown that's been brewing for a while. In a nutshell, it's all about fighter pay, and whether the big shots at the UFC have been playing fair with the folks who step into the octagon. It's a classic David versus Goliath story, with fighters claiming that they've been shortchanged. But here's where it gets interesting. The contract documents, those golden tickets to fighter earnings, have been made public. That's right. You can now see how much your favorite fighters are really making. It's like lifting the curtain on the biggest secret in the fight game. And it's not just Conor McGregor's paycheck that's been exposed. We're talking about previously confidential contracts of big names like Khabib Nurmagomedov and Ronda Rousey. If you've ever wondered what these legends were really earning, now you can find out. But the plot thickens. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit made a big decision. They denied the UFC's appeal. This means that the case is going to trial and things are about to get even more heated. It's like the cage door has been locked and there's no turning back. And here's the juicy part. The court wants all those records related to the UFC antitrust case unsealed, but with only a few redactions. They're going for transparency, and they're not pulling any punches. It's like they're saying, hey, we want the truth out there, even if it stings a bit. This is a big deal, folks. Fighter pay in the UFC has been a hot topic for years, and now we're getting a front row seat to the action. It's like the fight game's version of a tell-all memoir, and we're here for every word of it. Stay tuned, because the drama is far from over, and the fight for fairness is just getting started. The YouTube influencer boxing scene. It's time to talk about the phenomenon that's been taking the fight game by storm, the YouTube influencer boxing scene. You might think it's all about viral videos and social media stars, but it's become a heavyweight contender in the world of combat sports. First up, we've got Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned boxer. This guy's confidence knows no bounds. He's not just in the game, he's changing the game. Jake's been taking on big MMA names like Nate Diaz, Tyron Woodley, and many others. He's even been chasing a fight with none other than Conor McGregor for a while now. It's like he's out to prove that YouTubers can throw down with the best of them. But he's not alone. The YouTube influencer boxing scene has risen like a phoenix. It's not just about fame, it's about money. These events are raking in the dough. We're talking pay-per-view numbers that could make traditional fighters jealous. It's like the fight world's version of a gold rush.
Like he said, you kick like a donkey.
Do you smell bad?
Is this the biggest money fight for you so far? Like you'll make more in this fight probably than all the other ones?
Potentially. This is the biggest fight offer he's ever been offered, so.
No, you have got radio silence from him?
Radio silence.
And you can't box as good as me, and I'm gonna do to Nate what you couldn't.
Total strikes thus far. McGregor well in control. McGregor obviously trying to close the distance here. Again, he winds up with that big uppercut.
Now let's talk about Jake Paul's reputation. He's made some enemies in the industry, mainly through his trash talking and bold statements about his fighting abilities. Traditional fighters aren't entirely sold on the idea of YouTubers stepping into the ring. Jake's confidence has rubbed many of them the wrong way, and it's a bit of a love-hate relationship. But here's the interesting part. The YouTube influencer boxing scene isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's only gaining momentum. The big question on everyone's mind is whether we'll see more matchups between YouTube influencers and professional fighters.
UFC and Conor McGregor! He hurt him hard. He hurt him hard there. That was a good shot by Conor. Chad that time ducked under.
Jake's going to be very, very light on his feet, but when he plants and throws,
that's a lot of money.
I'm backed by billionaires, real estate, commercial real estate billionaires.
Has done it from time to time. Just hasn't been.
It's like a crossover episode in the fight world, and fans can't get enough of the drama, the spectacle, and the huge paydays. So, whether you love it or hate it, the YouTube influencer boxing scene is here to stay. It's changing the way we think about fighting and making a lot of people some serious money. Who knows what the future holds, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be one heck of a show. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.